When Shakuni grasped the immense potential of the Vegu's network, he began to receive a steady stream of intelligence spanning vast regions and kingdoms. From the information, like tale of a young boy from Hastinapura who single-handedly vanquished the infamous bandit gang of Panchagiri, to information about a tribe called the Nishada, stories spoke of their ability to take down a massive bear with effortless precision. Treating such feats as mere play, Shakuni clearly recognized that extraordinary individuals with natural warrior instincts existed across the land. While the surface plan of the grand event was aimed to glorify the Kuru princes and Hastinapura, Shakuni's deeper intention was far more insidious. Using the Vegu system, Shakuni subtly spread the news of an upcoming grand martial skills competition, set to take place in the next 15 years. The event was described as an extraordinary gathering where kings and warriors from all over the Bharata continent would converge to showcase their prowess. This news gradually spread through common conversations in local gatherings, first throughout Hastinapura and then reaching many other kingdoms. It ignited a wave of preparation across the land, spreading excitement and anticipation. From every kingdom and village, most of the skilled people decided to begin preparing not only for the demonstration of warrior skills, but also for a diverse range of talents. The event promised to be a grand spectacle, showcasing abilities in charioteering, horse riding, elephant handling, music and dance, singing praises and mantras, painting and sculpture. It was a celebration of artistry, athleticism, and intellect, attracting participants from all walks of life. As the climactic highlight of the event, the gurus would present their disciples in a dramatic showcase of their abilities. These disciples would compete against those trained by other gurus, demonstrating their mastery in the art of warfare and highlighting the dedication, discipline, and brilliance imparted through their training. This final act was designed to not only captivate the audience, but also solidify the legacy of the gurus and their disciples on a continental scale. With the news of the Grand Martial Skills event subtly spread across Bharata through the Vegu system, the seeds of Shakuni's scheme began to take root. From every kingdom and village, capable individuals, driven by ambition and pride, embarked on rigorous training to perfect their craft. Over the years, these warriors, shaped by discipline, hardship, and the desire to prove themselves, would transform into formidable forces. Among them, many would emerge as great warriors, possessing strength, skill, and talent that rivaled even the best of the Kuru princes. Shakuni understood that when the time came for the event, the stage would be set for a tense atmosphere. The warriors who gathered there, after years of preparation, would realize something crucial: that the Kuru princes held no extraordinary abilities beyond their own. This realization, subtle but powerful, would shift perceptions. It would plant thoughts of equality or even superiority among the visiting warriors and their kingdoms. A competitive rivalry would take root, not just on the grounds of the event, but within the hearts of these warriors. The pride of kingdoms, the desire for recognition, and the hunger for dominance would converge, fostering an underlying warlike atmosphere in every kingdom that will continue for generations to come. By the time the event concluded, Bharata would be teeming with men who had trained relentlessly for over a decade, warriors who excelled in warfare, tactics, and strategy. With such a vast pool of skilled fighters, kingdoms would naturally gravitate toward territorial ambition and conflict. War would no longer be seen as destruction, but as a stage for honor and glory, where might determined respect and supremacy. Shakuni's calculated move was not merely to showcase the talents of the Kuru princes, but to cultivate as many warriors as possible around Hastinapura, to ignite pride in showcasing their skills, fueling their ambition, and to destabilize the delicate peace, not only in the kingdom, but in the entire Jambu Dwipa. He had foreseen an era rife with rivalry, ambition, and unrest, where every kingdom's preparation for the grand event would inevitably sow the seeds for future conflict over Hastinapura's decades of dominance. The harmony of Bharata would crumble, and the shadow of war would loom, as Shakuni's design slowly began to reshape the very fabric of the land. Drona, though living a humble life as a farmer for years, carried a profound dissatisfaction deep within his heart. Outwardly, he provided for his family, ensuring their sustenance, but within him simmered a silent unrest, an ache that even he could not fully articulate. His wife, Krupi, ever perceptive and devoted, was quick to sense her husband's silent struggle. Krupi, who had never placed value on wealth or material comforts, cared only for Drona's well-being. To her, it was unbearable to see his immense wisdom and the brilliance of his unparalleled mastery over the divine astras, and such greatness languishing unused, unnoticed, and uncelebrated. Their son, Ashwathama, a child of extraordinary destiny, was already under Drona's tutelage. With his father as his guru, Ashwathama diligently absorbed the Vedas and the principles of Dharma, proving to be a sincere and obedient disciple. Endowed with the sacred Shivamani, the celestial gem with which he was born, a divine blessing from Lord Shiva gleamed brilliantly upon his head. Ashwathama possessed extraordinary abilities. This gem made him immune to hunger, thirst, fatigue, aging, disease, mortal weapons, and even demonic forces. It rendered him invincible and immortal, marking him as a being destined for greatness. Despite the seemingly tranquil life they lived, Krupi often observed the distant look in Drona's eyes and his lingering silences. Day after day, he carried out his duties as a farmer, yet something within him remained unsettled. Unable to bear the sight of his quiet suffering, Krupi approached him gently and asked softly what troubled his heart, for she sensed that his spirit was burdened by something far greater than their humble existence. Drona revealed to Krupi the root of his discontent, how he, the bearer of the sacred knowledge of supernatural weapons, felt bound to a life unworthy of such a gift. This knowledge was no ordinary skill, but a priceless mastery attained through rigorous training under his guru, Lord Parashurama himself. Yet here he was, far from the purpose that seemed destined for him, living a life of quiet insignificance. He said that a feeling, constant and unrelenting, whispered within him that this was not the path he was meant to walk. Krupi, understanding the magnitude of her husband's anguish, suggested an alternative she had quietly considered. As Drona already rejected to visit Hastinapura, she spoke of Magadha, another powerful kingdom where Drona's extraordinary abilities would be honored, where his knowledge of astras would earn him reverence and stature. She believed such a place could offer the fulfillment his restless heart sought. But Drona was resolute in his refusal. He could not ignore the complexities that Magadha represented. It was an enemy to Hastinapura, the kingdom where Krupi's own brother, Kripacharya, served as the royal guru. If Drona were to align himself with Magadha, he feared fate might someday force him into a confrontation, one where he and Kripacharya would stand on opposing sides. The thought of raising his weapon against someone he respected and loved weighed far too heavily on his conscience. To Drona, such a path was unacceptable, no matter how promising it appeared. Krupi listened in silence, her heart aching for her husband's moral dilemma. The anguish he felt was now hers as well. She suggested that he perform a Shiva puja, assuring him that the supreme god Shiva would grant him peace and show the path he was destined to follow. Drona, too, resolved to seek guidance and peace through the one force that could heal anyone's troubled soul. With unwavering focus, he began a sacred Shiva puja, offering his prayers to the supreme power of the universe. Immersing himself in the rituals, Drona sought not worldly riches, but inner peace and clarity of his destiny. A few days later, as Drona carried out his daily farming duties, he found himself engaged in casual conversation with a fellow villager. Amid their idle chatter, the man brought up a piece of intriguing gossip: the news of a grand martial skills event to be held in Hastinapura in the coming decade. He spoke with palpable excitement, describing how the entire land was abuzz with preparations, and people everywhere had begun practicing various skills in earnest. Initially, Drona paid little attention to this information, brushing it aside as something distant and of little concern. But then, the man casually mentioned his grandson's fascination with horse riding. The boy dreamed of becoming a great horse rider, yet he knew nothing of the skill itself. These simple words struck a chord deep within Drona, planting an idea that took root in his mind. He shared the news with Krupi. Krupi smiled with unwavering faith and conviction, telling Drona that Lord Shiva had truly guided him to his path. She explained that she, too, had overheard similar discussions among villagers. From young boys of 5 or 6 years to grown men, people across the kingdom were brimming with enthusiasm, practicing sword fighting, archery, and other combat arts to prepare for the grand event. With profound certainty, she suggested that perhaps this was Drona's destiny: to train the future warriors who would one day shape the fate of the land. Drona hesitated. While the spark of purpose had been ignited within him, he remained unsure of how to begin. Who would approach him, a simple farmer, to seek training? His doubts lingered, but before he could voice them, young Ashwathama, listening intently to his parents, stepped forward with determination. The boy proclaimed with confidence that he would learn everything his father knew and win the great competition, bringing honor to their family. Drona, hearing these words, felt a rare smile grace his face, a smile that had not been seen for many years. A sense of purpose began to replace his long-held restlessness. He resolved to train his son and anyone else who came to him with a true desire to learn. With newfound determination, Drona began laying the foundations of a training ashram. Within a short time, he built a modest training ashram amidst the tranquil surroundings of their land. The serene environment became a sanctum of discipline and learning. There, Drona started his instruction, beginning with the foundational principles of Dhanuavida, the sacred science of archery and warfare. Ashwathama became his first disciple, diligently absorbing every lesson his father imparted. As the news of the grand event spread quietly through whispers and secret channels, had inspired many gurus across the land to establish their own ashrams to train aspiring warriors. Children, teenagers, and young adults, driven by the allure of the upcoming competition, flocked to these training centers. Shakuni's strategy appeared to be unfolding just as he had planned, with the news of the grand event sparking widespread excitement and preparation. But what no one could foresee was how fate, with its mysterious and unpredictable ways, would influence the lives of those touched by his scheme. When the news reached Karna with a natural inclination toward archery, hearing about the grand event, Karna saw it as a golden opportunity to showcase his talent and pursue his dreams. Inspired by the chance to prove himself, he was drawn deeper into the world of combat and skill. Yet, as always, fate had its own plans, and how this moment would shape Karna's journey remained a mystery waiting to unfold.